Okay, so you take your plea deal and now you start your sentence. And you started at FCI Milan in Michigan.
Detroit, yeah.
Right. And you said this place was a madhouse.
Oh, it was.
Smoking, drugs, drinking, gambling, fighting, and rampant homosexuality.
Yes.
So you said that basically everywhere you went, like men were having sex with each other.
Well, I wouldn't say every man, but there was homosexuality going on. And it was, I don't know, for some guys it might be okay, but for me it's not okay. It's not my my DNA to act like that with another man. I mean,
was it consensual or were there rapes happening?
Listen. Yeah, and there was probably rapes happening that I didn't witness, but I did witness consensual.
Okay, so then you get transferred to Fort Dix.
Let's stick on to Milan, Michigan.
Okay.
I happened to walk in after training in the yard and hitting the heavy bag. And the shower was a communal shower. It was wide open. I walked into the shower, and it was a guy, a black man, and a Hispanic small man, and he had him up, wrapped around him. And it was the grossest thing I ever seen in my life. I cannot tell you. It was, I've seen a lot of things in my life, but it was a bit shocking to me, you know?
Okay.
And, but that's not the only sexual part of that prison that I experienced by seeing, I should say. My first few nights there, I had the top bunk, and there was bars because it was built in 1933. The prison, I believe, in 1933, and there was bars, so it was wide open, and each inmates had their own cubicles, if you will, two men in a cubicle and bunk beds, and because the place was so old, they couldn't have individual cells. So I was a light sleeper. I slept with one eye open, especially being new to prison. And I hear this noise, and it wakes me up in the middle of the night. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And a few cubicles down, there was an inmate. He was gay. I could tell, didn't take a genius to figure out who's gay or who isn't. I mean, prancing around in prison. And they called him Fluffy, as a matter of fact, believe it or not.
Fluffy.
Oh, man. So all of a sudden, the noise stops. And here comes Fluffy out of one of the cubicles of another inmate. There was noise going on down there. And I realized what that noise was, and I realized what he was doing down there with that man. So it was man on man down there. So it was gross. So one day, a couple days later, I'm out in the yard in Danbury. I'm sitting with a bunch of Italian mobsters, from Boston, from New England, and New York, and Chicago, from all over the place, these guys, right? So I'm sitting there, and Fluffy used to do laundry. What do I know about laundry? I mean, personally. So I used to give Fluffy a pack of cigarettes or whatever he wanted or she wanted, and from the commissary, for my laundry. So I'm sitting there with all these mobsters, the only Irish guy, and here comes Fluffy walking by. He said, "Hey, Red. Hey, Red." I was like, "Yeah? Do you want your laundry done today, Red?" I cannot tell you how embarrassed I was because all those guys, all those mobsters were going, "Hey, Red, you want your laundry done today?" I could say, "Listen," I said, "get the fuck out of here. You're never doing my laundry again."